Water. Like air, water is also essential for living things to stay alive. 2/3 of the human body is made up of water. Water plays a vital role to function the body. About 75% of the Earth's surface is covered with water. It is found in rivers, lakes, oceans, ponds, and even underground. Rainwater is the main source of water on the Earth. Rainwater fills rivers, ponds, lakes, and wells. Water from these sources is not pure and contains many substances such as sand, dirt, mud, and germs. Here is an activity showing that water is a universal solvent. Water can dissolve many things in it. Take some water in a glass. Add 2 spoonfuls of sugar to it. Stir the water. See what happens. The sugar you have added to the water gets dissolved. Similarly, you can repeat this process with sand. Sand does not dissolve. The substances that are dissolved in water are called solutes, and the liquid in which it is dissolved is called solvent. Many substances dissolve in water. We say these substances are soluble in water. Some substances, like sand, do not dissolve in water. They are insoluble in water. Impurities in water. As rainwater flows over rocks and soil, it picks up many impurities. Some of them, like salts, minerals, and chemicals, dissolve in it. These impurities are called soluble impurities. Some impurities, like mud, sand, and stones, cannot dissolve in water. They are called insoluble impurities. Removing insoluble impurities. We can remove insoluble impurities by sedimentation, decantation, and filtration. Here is an activity to show the process of sedimentation and decantation. Mix some sand in a glass of water. Let it stand for 15 minutes. What do you see? You will see that the sand particles settle down at the bottom of the glass. The water above the sand particles becomes clear. The process of settling of the insoluble particles is called sedimentation. In this method, the mixture is allowed to stand undisturbed for some time. After some time, the insoluble impurities settle down at the bottom of the container. The settled impurities are called sediments. To increase the speed of sedimentation, sometimes special chemicals like alum are added. This process is called loading. The alum particles attach themselves to dirt particles, thus making it heavy, and which settles down at bottom. Once the impurities settle down at the bottom of the container, the clear water can be poured out into a separate container. This is decantation. Here is an activity showing the process of filtration. Take a filter paper, fold it to make a cone out of it. Fit it inside a funnel. Place the funnel over the mouth of a conical flask. Mix some sand in a glass of water. Pour the sandy water into the funnel. What do you observe? The water collected in the flask is clear. The sand particles are left behind on the filter paper. This process of separating insoluble impurities from water is called filtration. The liquid that comes out of the filter paper is called the filtrate, while the substance which remains on the filter paper is called the residue. Filtration is a better and a faster method of separation in comparison to sedimentation and decantation. A filter paper has very tiny holes in it. Through these holes, water can pass, but small sand particles cannot pass through them. We can also use a piece of cotton cloth as a filter. We can filter sand or muddy water through it. Water filters have filter candles in them. These filter candles have very tiny pores in them, which can filter out insoluble impurities in water. Removing soluble impurities. We cannot remove soluble impurities from water by sedimentation and decantation or filtration. Evaporation and distillation are two methods by which these can be removed. Evaporation. In evaporation, the solution containing soluble impurities, such as salt and sugar, is heated till water evaporates and changes into steam, leaving behind salt, sugar, or any other soluble impurity. During this process, water is lost through evaporation. Distillation. The method in which both evaporation and condensation are involved in separation of soluble impurities from water is called distillation. Impure water is taken and is heated in a round-bottomed flask. On heating, water evaporates as water vapor and the impurities are left behind. The water vapor then reaches the neck of the round-bottomed flask connected to a condenser, which further cools it. The water vapor now condenses into liquid water. This water is then collected in another flask attached to the condenser. Pure water collected by the distillation process is called distilled water. It is the purest form of water used in laboratories, car batteries, and medicines. However, it is not suitable for drinking. Drinking water. The tap water we use at home takes a long journey before it is pumped to our home. At the waterworks, water is purified to make it safe for drinking. Water that is fit for consumption is known as potable water. These processes are used to clean the water at the waterworks. Sedimentation. First, water is left to stand in large tanks so that particles of sand and mud settle out. Filtration. The sedimented water passes through sand beds, which filter out small particles and also some bacteria. Chlorination. Through the filtered water, chlorine gas is bubbled. This kills the germs. Boiling. This is the simplest way. Boiling for 10 minutes kills germs and makes it fit for consumption. Addition of potassium permanganate to wells kills germs. Now, the water is clean and it is pumped to homes. Potable water is the water which is fit for drinking.